double over double rear corner bunks, nice kitchen space, super slide plus, capable of fitting a 55-inch TV. Folks, this is the 2022 Heartland Mallard M26. Let's get right into it with the fact it can hold a 55-inch TV. Now, I know that may not seem like a huge deal, but a lot of times in bunk models, they'll try to frame it in. You just don't get a lot of space here. That is not at all the case with the M26. You can have a nice big TV, which for a lot of people makes a big difference. Another cool feature, take a look at this. Boop! That just slides right open. A little hidden compartment right there. For any of you that are big fans of a Second Amendment, you may be able to put a little bit of protection in there, whatever else you want to hide, that is a great spot for it. Right underneath, you can see a fireplace, which not only helps provide heat, but also looks great, right? You know, I've got a nice, I gotta love having a nice little ambiance at night. Multimedia center right down here with HDMI port on the front. There is also a switch over on the side, and that will flip between the AC and the fireplace because this one will have a 30 amp plug. So, you know, chances are you're not going to be running both of them at the same time. So you just kind of have the switch right over here to flip back and forth. Let's get into the kitchen. I love this kitchen countertop. Not only is it an upgraded countertop, right, upgraded over the T-mold, it's also huge with all the extra space right over here. When you have a big countertop, that generally means you get good storage underneath, starting with this right over here and continuing all the way around. You can also see some storage up top there, plus a microwave, fully functional hood. You have kind of the decorative backsplash, you know, the wallboard all the way throughout, helping to break up the lighter look. And I like what they did, right? You have a lighter wood, you have lighter countertops, lighter cabinetry, but they kind of put in some pops, you know, a little bit darker, like the fridge, like the wallboard, and I think it just works. High-rise pull-out faucet with the undermount stainless steel bowl right there. Underneath, boom, plenty of spot for a trash can. You gotta love that. And you have to have drawers, and they didn't short you there either. You have not one, but two full extension ball bearing drawers, plus an electrical outlet here in case you need to plug anything else in. 8 cubic foot gas absorption refrigerators. This one does run off both propane and electric and has automatic switchover, being 8 cubic foot. A little bit bigger than what you used to get in travel trailers. Most of the time it was 6, so they have upgraded that one. A lot of people do still like the possibility of running it on propane, so you're not draining down your batteries or anything like that. So, you know, again, this one does give you some different options. You can see you have excellent pantry space. You do have removable shelves here. Also the hanging rods, so if you want to use this for kids' clothes, you can. I think I did forget to talk about the cooktop. I'll just point to that real quick. You do have the gray stone cooktop. There is an oven underneath there just in case you want to do a little bit of bacon. Or cook bacon on the cooktop. If you're making bacon, let me know. I'll come. Throw some in a Bloody Mary. Anyway, right here in the back are double over double bunks. 200-pound weight capacity on the top one, 300-pound weight capacity on the bottom. Both top and bottom bunks have lights and windows. And underneath, you will see some additional storage. So if you need, you know, an extra place to put some extra laundry or dirty laundry maybe, that's a good spot for it. Plus you have the privacy curtain so you can close that off at night. Well, you know, like that, right? Because that's not going to do anything. Right on. I do like the bathroom door here. I think they did a good job, again, you know, just adding a little something. For so long, manufacturers just had a big, you know, it looks like a big old turd of a door, but they did a really good job here. Kind of has like the barn style, so I really like that, especially the multi-color. And then as you come into the bathroom itself, we'll take a seat here. It is a plastic bowl, you know, so not necessarily my favorite there, but that is something you can swap out, you know, in a few years. If it does start to stain, you don't like the look of it, swap it out, you'll be just fine. As far as space, you know, I'm 6 foot, a little over 200 pounds. I have good leg room, good shoulder space here. And then over to the side, right, is the countertop. You know, but not a huge bowl, but you do get a little extra counter space there. So it's, you know, kind of a win a little, lose a little, I suppose. Mirrored medicine cabinet right up in the corner. Also, your tank monitoring panel is here. I do just want to let you know that the water heater also runs off propane and electric, and you can turn both of them on at the same time for faster recovery. As for the tub shower, as I mentioned, it is a tub. So if you have little ones, need to get a bath, you can. If you want to just sit here and look impressive with your Captain Morgan pose, you can do that too. But the other thing I love about a tub is the fact that your curtain stays down in it, right? A lot of times with the shower, if you don't have this higher like tub wall, the curtain's just doing one of these and getting water all over the floor. But because you have that higher wall, chances are it's going to stay in here. You have the hand wand making it easier to shower, and it's 6 foot tall. Because of that skylight, I can stand in here no problem, even though it is going to be a little bit of a step up because you have the plumbing underneath. Taking a look at the slide out, one of the things you'll notice right away is the backlit slide fascias. Now you can turn that off if you want, but I personally like it. I like the fact they went with a white light. It's clean. I like it a lot better than the blue light. No offense if you're into blue lights, right? A lot of manufacturers use them in a lot of different places. I just like the white light just because it is clean. Speaking of light, one of the other things I do like about this floor plan is that you have 2 banks of lights. A lot of times, even in an RV this size, manufacturers just put one in the center, and I just don't think it provides enough light. Having 2 running all the way down really does a good job, and especially because the fact that they use the 2-track AC system as well, right? So, you know, they're able to run both ACs and 2 rows of lights. Great job there. Taking a look back in the slide, sorry not to get kind of off topic here. I do like the light fixture they chose, you know, a little more farm style again. I like the color palette as well. Speaking of colors, this is pretty cool. You have what they like to call select-a style. If you don't want it quite that dark, you want to lighten things up a little, boom, take a look at that, right? You can do that all on both sides, you know, just kind of bring a little more color into it. The table. I have a lot of people that talk about the table because they don't like the way the leg looks. And I understand, right? It's not the best looking leg. The pedestal looks so much better. But you know what I love about this? The fact that it attaches to the wall. Well, that one's not currently in. But normally, if they're clipped in, right, the table doesn't wobble, which I like a lot. It still does drop down into a bed. You can take the cushions, throw it on top, nice and easy. Plus, they removed the carpet in the slide out, so you have like the vinyl weave, cleans up so much easier. Electrical outlet down there, plus another one over there, and easy access storage underneath the dinette. Making our way up a little bit further, you see the sofa, tri-fold sofa. This does fold out into a bed. Plenty of sleeping space here, plus it's comfortable and gives you a great view to the 55-inch TV. Made it all the way back up here, Aaron. All right, let's head into the bedroom space. Take a look at what we got. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see you get a king bed in the center. There are lights on both sides. I didn't turn them on. There we go. There's another one on the other side too. But you get yourself a king bed here, wardrobes on the side, storage across the top and underneath. I'll lift this up so you can take a look. Look at that. You get kind of the top foot locker here as well as the bottom foot locker. Would those both be foot lockers? Double foot locker? Sure. So you get a couple different storage areas there. Plus you have electrical outlets on the side of the bed in case you need to plug anything in, and actual doors rather than curtains that you can close off for a little more privacy at night. Now that we've seen that gorgeous interior, let's take a look at the exterior, starting off with the LCI power tongue jack. This makes it nice and easy to connect and disconnect from your tow vehicle. Simply flip the rocker switch to retract or extend the tongue. You also have a light in the event you're hooking up or disconnecting at night. And if it fails, there's a manual override so you're not stuck out at your campsite. Cool thing about this, not only does it make it easier to hook up and disconnect from your tow vehicle, but it also makes it easier to level your RV front to back. Right behind that are your two 20-pound propane tanks with a cover, rails there for your battery, plus a battery disconnect on the far side. And on the exterior of the frame there, you also see solar prep. So if you want solar, just buy portable panels, plug it in, it'll trickle charge your battery. Diamond plating on the front helping protect that front end from rocks and debris that get tossed up by your beautiful tow vehicle. And right up above that is a gorgeous 3/4 front cap. Not only does this look great, but it's also very functional, and it has the LED lights in there. Which, you know, again, with that and kind of like the faux front window, I think they did a really nice job on the front end. Coming around to the side, they call this King Kong size storage. Well, because it's big, Aaron, get it? It's big, like Kong, the king of Kongs. Storage. There it is. Cool thing about this, though, is exactly that, folks. It is big. You have a nice big door on here, too. I've seen some RVs, they have this massive storage and a door like this big where I can fit nothing into it. Listen, I'm putting in grills, I'm putting in executive chairs, I'm putting in pool noodles, things for the kids. I need a large door, and this gives it to me. You also have lights on both sides, so even if you're getting into something on the other side, even though it's a little bit smaller opening, and I'll show you why in a bit, you still can see what you're getting into. Making our way back, power awning. touch a button to roll that guy out, same thing to go back in, and there's an LED light strip on there, so you can have light no matter what. Now, is that going to stop you from putting flamingos up there if you want? No. You can still put on some other lights, but just knowing that the flip of the switch, you have light, definitely something that's nice. Getting into the RV is very simple. You have the MORryde step above step system, aluminum steps with some grip tape on there. So hopefully you don't slip, right? Gives you a little extra traction. Now, you don't get the larger grab handle, so you do kind of have to do a little reach to get there, but you can definitely still do it. At least it has something. I wouldn't mind seeing a bigger handle, but again, you can still get by. That does fold up into the door when you're not using it. Now, this is a big one. A couple different things. Let's talk sidewall construction, right? So many manufacturers just blow over construction these days, and it's still a big deal to me. So let's talk about what Mallard does that you will probably love. One of the things, they call it Yeti sidewall construction. That's really just a fancy name to mean it is 2 inches thick, but that's a big deal. A lot of manufacturers, especially if you're trying to get a little bit lighter weight, or when you start to go to fiberglass sides, will have an 1.5 inch sidewall. They are a full 2 inches. Probably more importantly to me, though, I guess equally important, is the fact this one uses Azdel. What is Azdel? Well, normally behind this fiberglass, you will have a Luan substrate, right? And that's essentially just going to be a plywood. And there's nothing wrong with that to an extent until it gets wet, right? Plywood and water don't really mix very well. So when that happens, you get what's called delamination. And so then you start getting bubbles in fiberglass. You've ever seen that on units where there's bubbles and it's just really soft? That's probably because it delaminated. Well, with Azdel, it won't do that because Azdel is a composite that doesn't absorb moisture. So it almost completely eliminates the chance of delamination. The other thing it does for you is, one, it's lighter weight. Anytime you can save weight on towable is definitely a great thing, and it is a green material. So you don't get any off-gassing that sometimes you will get with Luan. Also, making our way back here, let's go back into some of the features. You can see an electrical outlet outside in case you need to plug anything in. Your freshwater inlets will be right there. A couple speakers outside. If you want to jam out to some music, you can. One of my favorite parts about most bunk models is they find a way to give you an outside kitchen. I do love the backsplash here. I think this is really cool. You'll also see your electrical outlet plus cable outlet there. So if you want a TV out here, you can. Now, you probably won't be able to fit anything really in there, but if you want to set up a little table, probably over here somewhere, right? Underneath the awning, you can do that. Better than nothing. I am glad they have it. You do get some good countertop space though. Pull out 2-burner cooktop. I don't use this a ton, I gotta be honest, but what I do use a lot is underneath the propane quick connect. Why? So I'm a big fan of a Blackstone griddle. So you can set it up right here, plug it in right there, and you're feeding off your big tanks. Good to go. You'll also see your refrigerator outside. I'm also a big fan of that for condiments, beverages, anything else you want to put in there. Coming around to the back, square tubular bumper with end caps gives you a very convenient spot to store a sewer hose. Mounted to that is your spare tire, making it very easy to get to, and an outside shower on the back. Why do I like that? Well, it's just much more convenient to access. I don't know how many times you've been camping, and if you are an experienced camper, how many times do you go to your off-camp side unless you're dumping tanks? Like never. So with this, if you want, you can bring it around to this side. The hose is long enough to reach right about here. So if you want some extra water access, I mean, of course you have the sink there, but you can bring it around if you want. Or again, if you're just washing the feet off, washing the dog, this is a perfect spot to do it. It's not on your camp rug. It's kind of over here to the side. Right up top's backup camera prep. If you want a backup camera, the prep does make it easier to install, meaning it'll save you some money on labor. This one has power stabilizer jacks on the back and on the front, of course. This control right here will operate the back too. There's another control up front to operate the front too. You will see some connections here. City water inlet, black tank flushed, quickly and easily wash out the black tank, cable inlet, and 30 amp detachable power cord will plug right into there. If we drop down, take a quick look at the termination, I believe this one only has one. Yes, that right there will be your only termination on the M26. You will see both your gray and tank valves, and if you notice, all that gray stuff around there that looks really bad is actually super helpful. That is insulation. This one has a fully enclosed and insulated and heated underbelly, and as you saw, those valves go up into that underbelly so that they will be protected. So if you are camping in some colder weather, your tanks won't freeze up on you. Well, shouldn't, depending on how cold it is, right? If it's -20, well, but because it is insulated and heated in there, your tank shouldn't freeze up, your valves shouldn't freeze up, your line shouldn't freeze up. you should be pretty good. And then if we make our way to the very front right here, so this is the other side, and as I promised, I wanted to show you why this kind of didn't have quite as much space, and that's because you have the water heater taking up that space right there, which honestly, I would much rather that than having it inside taking up cabinet space. And folks, that wraps up the walkthrough of the all-new 2022 Heartland Mallard M26. If you are interested in this beautiful family RV and you would like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.